I hope you had enough sleep last night from the Hall of Fame, because if you were up in the East, it was about 4 a.m. and you guys are absolute warriors. But now we're gonna turn shit into overdrive. Welcome to the recap of Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania 41 Saturday, a special edition of Talking Wrestling TXN. I am good old MF Michael Fletcher. The Phenom Michael Bullock is with us, and the professor of the TXN Talking Wrestling, the ridiculously over, the hitman, Anthony Florio. Welcome to the recap. If it was anything like last night, we appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Thank you for coming out last night. Just us setting the table for WrestleMania. Got us monster fuse. We hope we can deliver that again tonight. And my God, I'm sorry we're on a little late. However, we are ready to dive in. There's a lot to talk about. Obviously, we got Stand and Deliver. We got WrestleMania Saturday. Here we go. We started off with Stand and Deliver from T-Mobile Arena, Vegas, Las Vegas, Nevada, and it was live on Peacock in the United States, on Netflix around the world, and well, here we go. We started it off. Now, there was a pre-show match before we got everything going. This was the Fatal 4-Way Elimination that was going to determine the number one contenders for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. In the match, we had Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley, and JC Jane. We had Metaphor, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson, and Gigi Dolan, and Tatum Paxley. The winners of the bout, 12 minutes and 51 seconds, was Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan. They will now be awaiting the winners of the match on Sunday between Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, and the Intercontinental Women's Champion, La Valkyria. However, there's a major problem. We've now found out earlier this evening, Bayley got jumped before the night even got started, and she has been pulled from the card. She is unable to go. She is out of WrestleMania. A devastating blow for Bayley, and we'll find out who Lara Valkyria partner is tomorrow night at WrestleMania Sunday.
And I think I know who jumped Bayley. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I think it was Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez who jumped her.
Well, yeah, it seems like unlike the first time where we thought it was, where we thought, we all thought that they did this to Jade, and we found out, no, it was not her. It wasn't them. This time around, yeah, you can probably point the finger at them this time around for this attack. Yeah.
Yeah, because they know that they don't want to face them. They feel like, oh, we're gonna win by forfeit. But Adam Pearce said, no, you ain't getting away with that crap. This match will indeed happen if Lyra can find a partner.
Yeah. So we'll find out if she finds one. We'll find out tomorrow if she does. So with that said, we do move on. The first official match of NXT Stand and Deliver, as it was Ricky Saints putting the North American title on the line against Ethan Page, and Ricky Saints winning the match in 12 minutes and 43 seconds. Solid opening matchup. Very good battle. Again, we knew it happened. I called it. I knew it. I sensed it. There was a lot of chance of Tony fumbles on the crowd during this matchup. Obviously, we know where they were directing that Venom to. So at the end of the day, solid matchup. No doubt about it. And Anthony Florio, I give it to you.
Yes, sir. I tell you, MF. Great. Let's see, 12:43. This is about 3.25, 3.5. This was stiff in a way WWE typically avoids, but two veterans on WrestleMania weekend were not going to hold back to make their mark. The value of these two working in NXT is giving the new stars a chance to see what works and how to deliver in the ring. This match was a perfect example. If newer stars like the Dark State, the Culling, Tyson DuPont, and Tyreek Igwe watch this and take it to heart, they can improve their own in-ring work. All around, this was a strong showcase for two of NXT's best experienced stars. Ethan Page always delivers, but Ricky Saints bumped big and hit hard to look just as good. This was never going to be a dramatic match, as Saints could not lose this quickly. Instead, this may indicate All Ego's NXT time may be coming to an end. He could be main roster bound soon enough. I will give this about 3.25, 3.5 stars. And that's really all there is to say on this. I'm not going to go overly because we got a lot to get into. So I will do that, however, tomorrow night. So I'm just going to leave it at that. 3.25, 3.5. So, Michael Bullock, good way to start off Stand and Deliver on the main card side.
Yeah, definitely a good way. 3.25, 3.5. Yeah, you could tell during the match that there were chances of Tony fumbled, and we knew this was going to happen. So, yeah, and there was no way Ricky Saints was going to lose it with having him just win the title. So yeah, there's really nothing more to add on to it. Let's move on to the next match, Fletch.
All right. Yeah. And by the way, just to let you know, I don't know if you guys heard me. I actually gave the match 3 stars. So with that said, now next up we had up against Fraxium for the NXT Tag Team titles. The winners of the bout in 13 minutes. What is going on tonight?
Yeah, you keep breaking in and out.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's like my connection's acting up.
Yeah, I think it's got to be something on your end.
Yeah. So the winner of the bout, Hank and Tank versus Fraxium. Winner of the bout, 13 minutes and 56 seconds. And the new NXT Tag Team Champions, Hank and Tank. Anthony Florio, history was made. Unprecedented crowning. I can't believe it. It happened. We have new tag team champions.
The shocker of Stand and Deliver right here. And I can't believe I'm about to say this, but sleeper fight of the night on this one. But then again, look who Hank and Tank were in there with. I mean, 3.5 to 4 stars on this one. This rocked. As good as Fraxium has been as a unit, this may be the best match of their entire NXT Tag Team Championship reign. Hank and Tank kept up with them at a speed few can, making each big move a major highlight. Hank and Tank looked like true stars throughout. The crowd was rolling for this and began believing in the challengers down the stretch, to a point that they got the loudest reactions so far for the honk honk before the finish. No team was better positioned to dethrone Fraxium, even if it took longer than expected. That only made the moment mean more. Hank and Tank should completely take over the tag division from here and face challenges that require them to continue leveling up. Frazier and Axiom are at their best together right now, maybe the best team going today. It would be great to see them head to the main roster as a tag team. So, absolutely outstanding matchup here. 3.5 to 4 stars. Excellent match. And congratulations to Hank and Tank. Well-deserved. Special moment. And you know how I am about seeing underdogs get their moment in the sun. And this was definitely an underdog moment right here. So, well done, guys. You deserve it. No doubt about it. So, not much more to say. Michael Bullock. Honk, honk. You got new champs, bro.
Yeah, they actually pulled the trigger. And what's the one thing that we like? What WWE does,
Unpredictability.
and that's what we got because the thing is, we all thought Fraxium was going to retain, but no, WWE. I mean, they pulled the trigger. They pulled for the upset here, and we got it. I mean, congratulations to Hank and Tank. I mean, what a week it's been for these guys. I mean, they went all the way in that gauntlet match, and it all culminated with them becoming the new NXT Tag Team Champions. Yeah, great work, guys, and yeah, you definitely deserve it. So, yeah, I could definitely see Fraxium head to the main roster. So we'll see what happens. So 3.5 to 4, sleeper fight of the night. Fletch, I mean, we were a little hesitant to pull the trigger, but WWE certainly did.
Yeah, and it was a great moment to say the very least. So yeah, it was about a 3.5-star bout. I totally agree with everything you guys have said. So there's really nothing more for me to add. So let's just move right on along. Next up we had was the North American women's title match in a ladder match. We had Izzy Dane, Kalani Jordan, Sol Ruka, Lola Vice, Thea Hale, and Zarya, the winner of the bout in 14 minutes and 40 seconds, and the new NXT Women's North American Champion, Sol Ruka. She shocks the NXT world. Last time we did it, it was Kalani Jordan shocking the world. Michael Bullock. We got a new champion, and this one was not in all of our bingo cards. We all got this one wrong.
Again, unpredictability for a second straight match. Because, like you said, I mean, all of us, well, you had Lola Vice winning. I had Zarya winning. Floria, who did you have winning?
I think he also
I had Zarya as well.
So all three of us struck out. But yeah, I mean, Sol Ruka, I mean, she's been around for a little while, and you knew that. I mean, the thing is, I mean, she's been around and never had a singles title or a title of any kind. And now she's got her moment. I mean, congratulations to Sol Ruka. I'm gonna give this about about another 3.5, somewhere between 3.5 to 4. I mean, man, what a moment for her. So there's really nothing more for me to add on to it. Fletch, I mean, we already got one unpredictability in the tag team match. Now this.
Yeah, and
it seems like NXT. They want to give us something to talk about, and boy, howdy, we've had something to talk about it so far.
Yeah, absolutely correct on everything you just said there. The moment that they won, that Sol won it all, but the way she won it, a soul snatcher off the top of the ladder, then a double soul snatcher off the rope, taking out two of her opponents, climbing up the ladder, getting the belt, and winning the title. That was an amazing finish for the match. And for that, I give it 3 3/4 stars. For Sol to win it is absolutely phenomenal. And the thing is, she was itching and clawing her way up to the top lately. As you know, they did this. If you did remember, they did this combine not too long ago, and she was the #1 star in that combine that they did not too long ago. And oh, by the way, if you are a fan on X, you guys know that they do the WWE Speed Show on X right now. Oh, by the way, Sol Ruka just became the WWE Women's Speed Champion. So she's a double champion now in WWE. She's got the WWE Speed title And now the new NXT Women's North American Champion. 3 3/4 of a star, Anthony Florio. It is all yours.
I agree with that. 3.5 to 3 3/4 of a star is my rating for this as well. This was a fun ladder match with some smart setup spots that sold the fight of all involved. And Sol Ruca has awaited a chance like this and made the most of it. The main problem is simply that multi-wrestler ladder matches like this are played out. Beyond the soul snatchers at the end of the bout and the win, it is hard to imagine much will be remembered from this one. It was an interesting choice to give this to Ruca after spending so much time building Zarya and Ruca's connection as a team. Thea Hale seemed perfectly positioned for this moment after her big return. Lola Vice has been waiting for a push. Even Izzy Dane could have used the opportunity, though it may have been too early in calling rebrand. Kalani Jordan was the only one who did not need the win. In the end, only one woman can win, and Sol Ruca should be a good champion. NXT will just have to wrestle with whether to keep her and Zarya together after this. A match between them for the title would be PLE worthy, no doubt about that. So yeah, congratulations to Sol Ruca. Surprising outcome. I thought Zarya was going to win it. And like MF mentioned, Sol Ruca is the speed champion, and I thought maybe they would have had Zarya win it to give them both titles, but no, Sol Ruca is now a double champion. So we shall see what happens with that. So, but small constructive criticism aside, this was still a very good ladder match. 3.5, 3 3/4, absolutely agree with it. So let's move on to our next match.
All right, and that is it was a 6-man tag team fight. Dark State versus the D'Angelo family. Dark State winning the match in 13 minutes and 30 seconds, or 13-13, because Channing Stacks Lorenzo turned on the brothers. He turned on Tony D'Angelo, turned on Luca Crucifino, and basically that was the opening for Dark State to win the match. No big surprise on the outcome. No big surprise on the turn either. This was about another 3 1/4, 3.5 star bout. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
And kudos to you, MF, because you were the one who predicted that this would happen with Stacks turning his back on the family. But then again, I kind of saw that writing on the wall myself. 3 1/4, 3.5. This was much better than it looked to be on paper, helped by every man in Dark State stepping up to the moment. They brought an aggression that sold them as top guys in the making that likely could have defeated the family on their own. However, the tension in the air has finally broken up the family. The Don called it for weeks, showing that he was smart enough to see this coming. At the end of the day, though, he had to believe Stacks would hold to his word in order to combat Dark State. It did not work out for Tony D'Angelo. It is a shame that the family never made it to the main roster, but this likely sets up the Don to put over Stacks on his way up, leaving the underboss to prove himself. It will take a significant push to sell Stacks, though, as worthy of taking on the family mantle in NXT. Right now, it looks more likely the Don will have him taken out for his betrayal. So, 3 1/4, 3.5 stars. I agree with the rating. And MF, you called it. Stacks turned on the family. You had this one. So, not much more to say. Michael Bullock, Stacks turning his back on the family.
Yeah, I'll give this about another 3 1/4, 3.5 as well. And yeah, you could definitely see the turn coming here. So yeah, there's really nothing more to add on to it. So let's move on, Fletch.
NXT Women's title on the line. Fatal 4-way. The champion, La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer versus Julia versus Jada Parker versus Jordan Grace. Winner of the bout in 16-29. And still the NXT Women's Champion, La Primera, the Dark Angel, Stephanie Vaquer. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
4 to 4 1/4 stars. This was not always clean, but it was good fun throughout. Everyone got a moment to shine and no one looked like a loser. While Vic Joseph's call after the match to follow that felt too strong, this lived up to the hype of the talent involved. With Stephanie Vacour's expected retention, NXT has months of exciting matchups left for the champion. Vacour and Julia did not interact much to keep plenty for a singles rematch. NXT could have something with Vacour versus Grace, as they look great going back and forth. With the right story built from here, they could have the NXT match of the year. Jada Parker had the most trouble keeping up with her competition, but she still looked like a future top star. She was just not hitting as cleanly as her 3 veteran opponents. But other than that, excellent match. I thought this was the second best fight of the night for me. 4 to 4.25 stars. Excellent 4-way. Not much more to say. Michael Bullock, Stephanie Vaquer, still the face of your women's division. NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah, 4.25 for me. I mean, the outcome was never in doubt. I mean, yes, Stephanie Vaquer is still the champion, overcoming the odds. And, yeah, what's next for her? I think maybe a feud with Roxanne Perez, because as you saw during the photo shoot, Roxanne Perez rudely interrupted it, and she basically was demanding Stephanie Vaquer to hand over the women's title. Message to you, Roxanne Perez, you crazy woman, you. And you should know this firsthand. You have to earn the title. You have to earn that championship, not take it. But obviously, your obsession with it is so up there. Well, you're so crazy. I don't know how to say it, but there may be some guys with straitjackets that are waiting for you.
She's as goofy as a pet coon, Bo. Let's be realistic.
That's what I was looking for. So thank you for that, Florio. So yeah, so 4.25. It is yours, Fletch. It looks like Roxanne Perez wants another shot at the title.
Yeah, and
even though she tried to get Stephanie Vaquer to hand it over. And did you think Stephanie was going to do it? Not a chance in your life.
Tuesday night, boys. Tuesday night.
But yeah, it looks like we are going to get it Tuesday night. And I don't know if it's been official yet, but I do believe it probably will go down. Stephanie Vaquer versus Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's title. We'll see. And yeah, I would say 4.25. I thought this was a heck of a match. Well done. Yeah, it wasn't perfect in everything, but it was still great for what it was worth. Main event of Stand and Deliver for the NXT title in a triple threat. Javon Evans, Oba Femi, and Trick Williams. The winner of the bout, 16 minutes and 58 seconds. And still the NXT champion, La Ruler, Oba Femi. Michael Bullock, you lead off. Oh!
Yeah. The Ruler is still the king of NXT. He is still the champion. What a match this was. This was, I mean, everybody in that crowd was enjoying it. There was Shakespearean drama. I'm going to go 4.5, 4.75 on this one. I mean, like I just said, the crowd was into it. They enjoyed it. There was Shakespearean drama, and I thought it looked like maybe Javon Evans was going to pull off the upset, but nope, the Ruler is still the champion. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch. Fight of the night.
4 to 4.25 stars, no doubt about it. Great matchup. Outcome never in doubt. I think we all predicted Oba Femi to win this one, and he does. Florio, go.
4.5 stars for me. Fight of the night. I'm with Bullock on this one. The idea of this triple threat was to keep all 3 men in the action as much as possible rather than a series of one-on-one clashes, which led to a significant amount of choreographed spots. Much of them went well, though there were some miscues that the commentators struggled to explain away. This is inevitable, though, with how much these 3 were willing to do to pop the crowd. and it ultimately led to a wild and consistently exciting main event. This whole show delivered wild action, first over strong, clear stories, and this was a worthy main event with that in mind. Oba Femi deserved to retain as he continues to deliver in spades with his opportunities, though it did lead to a fairly anticlimactic finish for the show. With all the Dark State teases, they did not have any impact on the main event. The title did not change hands, especially allowing Javon Evans to become WWE's youngest champion ever. While NXT cannot always rely on big story moments, ending like this on WrestleMania weekend will likely lead to a forgotten stand and deliver by the end of the weekend. This main event lacked a talking point that WWE can echo throughout WrestleMania to get fans to tune into NXT on Tuesday. But other than that, 4.5 stars. This is easily the fight of the night. So with that instead, let's get into our overall review.
Pretty good stand and deliver. I'd probably say this was a solid 8 out of 10. I think the action was really good. The matches were very talked about. We got 2 new champions. We got Hank and Tank that shocked the world by winning the tag team titles. Then you parlay that with Sol Ruca winning the Women's North American title. Not bad of a night, you know. We like unpredictability, and throughout the night, that's exactly what we got, unpredictability. So nothing more to say. Mike, Anthony, it is yours. I gave 8 out of 10.
8 to 8.5 out of 10 for me. Stand and Deliver is often a chance for WWE's youngest brand to steal the show and get fans talking about the future of the business. Everyone came to deliver for NXT, though this felt more like a mid-level premium live event than a true show stealer for WrestleMania weekend. It didn't really help that the card was loaded with multi-person matches, leading to more spots than selling the story. The pace of the show, especially down the stretch, leaned into hitting those big moves and left NXT bereft of exciting talking points for the post-Mania hype. The best part of the show was the tag team title match. The passing of the torch moment was thrown on the middle of the show, but delivered both in spectacle and story. Sol Ruca was the only other woman to win new gold on the night, and her win was obscured by the most formulaic match of the day. Overall, NXT delivered a quality card for a hot crowd that enjoyed seeing all the wild moves, but it worked more as warm-up than main roster challenge to me. So 8 to 8.5 out of 10 is my rating. Michael Bullock, let's get your thoughts, and then we'll get into WrestleMania.
8.5 for me as well. I mean, you guys pretty much said everything that was said. So that being said, Fletch, let's get into WrestleMania Saturday.
We will indeed do it, and we jump it off at the Allegiant Stadium in Paradise, Nevada, which is a sub-city of Las Vegas. It's right around that Vegas Strip. It's outside of the Vegas Strip. 61,467 fans that jam-packed Allegiant for night 1, and we started it off with the World Heavyweight Championship matchup. The champion Gunther, the challenger Jey Uso, and when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout via submission in 16 minutes and 30 seconds, and new World Heavyweight Champion, main event, Jey Uso.
Yay.
Yes, this was the scene at the commentary table. I'm sitting down while these 2 knuckleheads were yeeting the living daylights out of that moment. But okay, feel good story, absolutely. But I don't want to do it, but I gotta do it.
I smell a mini rant coming.
It's not a mini rant. I did not like the ending. That is the only criticism I have with this match. This was easily 3.5 stars. You could say 3 3/4. The flavor and everything that was great was amazing. I just did not like the ending. I thought it made Gunther look weak at the end. I don't know if it was because of the submission. I don't know if there was a mistake along the way. It didn't look clean to me. And I'll openly admit this. A lot of the people of the IWC and a lot of people on the internet is voicing that same issue. It was great. The match was fine. But the ending was left to be desired. However, the moment was right. The outcome was right. The crowning of a new champion, history being made, and an unprecedented crowning here at WrestleMania was right. It just was the ending that just did not deliver for me. For me, it did not deliver in the way that I was hoping for. So 3.5 to 3.75. I'm happy with the outcome because this is what we wanted. This is all what we wanted. Jay to win the title. He's got it. But the thing was the ending was, again, left to be desired. That's the only constructive criticism I have with the World Heavyweight title as I give it to Anthony Florio. Florio, you wanted it. We got it. Jey Uso wins the title. He is now the heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah, that is exactly right. And MF, as far as how you feel about the ending, I 100,000% agree with you. I was going to say the exact same thing, but you beat me to it. So I give you credit. If I had let off on that, I would have called that out. I would have been the first to call that one out. So I agree with you. Am I happy that Jay won? Abso-freaking-lutely. Bullock and I wanted this. But the way we got there, I did not like it at all.
It just felt like it took away the moment.
Can we I think we have a password here, gentlemen. The password is anticlimactic. Amen.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the word of the day, folks. Anticlimactic. Me personally, I would have preferred the Uso splash and a 1, 2, 3. That would have done it for me. But other than that, though, the match was it was a really good match, though. Well, hold on a second. Okay. Great opener with a red-hot crowd. The outcome felt inevitable, but few could have predicted how we would get there. Jey Uso out-wrestling the superior grappler with his own parented offense was certainly not one of them. This was the coronation Jey Uso has earned following his rise to the top of the industry. Organically over and beloved by fans, he proved he was more than a catchphrase, doing something even his Hall of Fame father Rikishi could not: win the world title. So immediately it felt like a main event worthy bout. The special entrance for Jey Uso, the big match feel, the title match introductions. This was special. I was going to give it 4, but I'm going to bump it down to 3.5 to 3.75 for that anticlimactic finish. But who the hell cares? We got the outcome we wanted. That's all that matters to me. So 3.5 to 3.75. Michael Bullock, yes, the ending was anticlimactic, but who the hell cares, man? We got what we wanted. Yeet.
Yeet. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I mean, the ending just, it felt anticlimactic, and I would have been fine with the however many Uso splashes and then the pinfall. That's it. But to do the submission, I mean, I get why he was trying to do it. Because he was trying to get payback for what Gunther did to Jimmy Uso. I get that. But I hate to say it, but like you said, it made Gunther look weak. I mean, for him just to submit like that after it was just applied onto him, it just made him look weak and make him look like a total doofus.
And the thing was, if Gunther's going out, I'd rather prefer him passing out, not tapping out. He tapped out. I mean,
and Gunther's tough as nails, and for him to tap out like that,
like
it made him look weak.
And I think that's why I'm a little upset with WWE is because this whole time I was so concerned about them burying Jey Uso that in a way they partially buried Gunther tonight. I mean, where do you go with Gunther?
And you feel like Gunther deserved way better than that.
Oh, absolutely. For what this man has done in the company, absolutely.
Especially having a record-breaking reign as the Intercontinental Champion.
And he had a really good run as the World Heavyweight Champion. And to me personally, okay, you're gonna put the submission on if you're gonna put the submission on him, that's fine. But make Gunther struggle a little bit and then pass out from the pain. That would have been a satisfying ending to the match. I would have been fine with that. Because that would have been like the champion going out on the sword more than anything else. But,
and I was going to give it 3 3/4, but the ending took away from it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people are going to look at us like, are you guys really trying to poo-poo all over it? No, we're not poo-pooing all over the match. It's just the ending.
And the thing is, everybody is saying that on the IWC. So it's not like we're saying.
Yeah, I feel like that's something we have to call Triple H out on.
Well, here's the thing. This is not something that is just like, oh, we're making like we're going rogue. No. If you read every single post from every single person from around the world right now, they're saying the same damn thing. We're just following it up and we're agreeing with the IWC. I know, shocker, because normally the IWC and us, we don't necessarily get along. We don't. I think there's a few people in the IWC we actually do get along with, but this is one of the rare times where
we agree with everybody from the IWC.
In unison.
Sorry, Triple H, but you owe us an explanation. So sorry, Triple H. I know it's your weekend and all that, but you owe us an explanation for why Gunther went out like that.
I don't think he really.
He doesn't owe us an explanation, Bullock. He doesn't owe us a damn thing.
No, he doesn't owe us an explanation. I think it's just that we're kind of looking at them like that was a little odd, because you see a guy like Gunther, you don't think of him passing, you don't think of him tapping out from that type of state in that type of situation. Normally, any other time, all right, fine.
Triple H does. I mean, he deserves to owe us an explanation for why the ending happened like this. Gunther is one of the toughest SOBs right now in WWE, and this is how you make him lose the title like that? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say it, but it's pointless, unnecessary, unacceptable, inexcusable, borderline reprehensible, and this man deserves way better than that. Plain and simple.
Well, we'll see what happens now, because that was that was kind of a shocker. We'll say that. Next up, we had on WrestleMania, was the New Day going up against the War Raiders for the World Tag Team Championships. Winners of the bout in 9 minutes and 15 seconds, and new World Tag Team Champions, the New Day. They've done it. They've got the belts. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
2.5.
One quick thing I want to bring up. I mean, now that I think of it, I'm not going to criticize Triple H on it. I'm not. Just a quick thought.
Very good. Anyways, 2.5 to 3 stars. The match featured some perfectly acceptable wrestling from two veteran tag teams, but a lack of story and fans coming off the high of Jey Uso's championship victory hurt the reaction significantly, leading to a quieter crowd than one would have hoped for the talent involved. I'll come right again. They got the New Day winning the titles. That's perfectly fine with us. Two things. First off, I'm sure you saw some still photos. Did you see the look on Kofi Kingston's face after winning the titles? Did you see that?
Yeah.
He looked like a man possessed. He seriously looked like a man possessed. One word for you, Kof. Lithium, homie. Lithium. That's the first thing. The second thing. I understand you wanted to give these guys a WrestleMania spot and all that. Fine and dandy, I understand. But in all honesty, MF, I got to be the man who tells it like it is here. And when I say that, you know what that means. You know what's coming.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Why was this match? Did this match scream WrestleMania worthy to you? No, it didn't for me. You know what match screamed WrestleMania worthy to me? That TLC match, that upcoming TLC match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. That should have been on the Mania card. You should have saved this for the Raw after Mania. That's what you should have done. It was a TV quality bout. That's all I'm going to say. Solid, not overly spectacular.
All right.
So, I hate to do it, but I have to do it. Congratulations to the New Day. They definitely deserve the moment. It's been a long time since they've had a moment like this. So, and this is definitely what they needed to get the heel turn verified and validated. So, we shall see what happens. But 2.5 to 3 stars is the rating I'll give it. Solid match, not overly spectacular. A TV quality bout on the grandest stage of them all. Nah. That's all I'm gonna say on that. This should have been on Raw after Mania, or even this past Monday on WrestleMania Raw. That would have been fine. If there was going to be a tag team title match on this show, it should have been the upcoming TLC match that we're getting Friday night on SmackDown with the Street Profits, DIY, and the Motor City Machine Guns. That was a WrestleMania worthy match, not this. With all due respect, 2.5 to 3. Bullock, take it.
Yeah, that was a swing and a miss as far as I'm concerned, Florio. I mean, yeah, the match was solid but not overly spectacular. 2.5 to 3, but this match had zero business being on the WrestleMania card. That TLC match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships should have been on the WrestleMania card. And, I mean, that would have been more entertaining. And the thing is, we've had TLC matches at WrestleMania before. Why didn't you pull the trigger on it? Why? That is the one criticism here with this. I mean, if you were going to do the Raw Tag Team title match, it should have been on the Raw before WrestleMania or the Raw after WrestleMania. Not on WrestleMania 41 in general. Yeah, WWE, I'm sorry, you guys, you swung and missed on this one. So, 2.5 to 3. The outcome, this was the right outcome, even though I did pick the War Raiders to retain. But I'm sorry, Fletch. This was a swing and a miss. This had no business being on the card.
I'm going to disagree. I feel like,
Huh?
and hear me out. When you got the New Day, the greatest tag team in the history of the company, and they are doing everything they can to get over, I feel like they deserve the spot, but the positioning of the match hurt this one. That's why. If this was later in the card, I think we'd be feeling a lot different than we are right now. And that's why I'm kind of disagreeing with Anthony and Michael Bullock. I feel like they tried to do the best they could under the circumstances, but when you had a red-hot opener like that, you knew something was going to get hit. Something was going to suffer. Unfortunately, this match suffered because you get a red hot start at WrestleMania, you know there's going to be something there's going to be that other shoe that's going to drop that's going to bring this back to reality. This was a coming back to reality moment. But the thing is, I don't blame the New Day. I don't blame the War Raiders. I don't actually blame the booking. I can't. Now, am I going to call out the Vegas crowd? Yeah, in a way, I'm going to call them out for this because it's their fault that the crowd, that they didn't get hyped up. But then again, they got exhausted after the first fight. So I can't really be mad about that either. All I can say is that could I have seen this on Monday Night Raw? Absolutely. No doubt about it. But I don't want to dismiss the fact that about, the TLC should have been there. You didn't give it enough time to build. Why on earth are you going to put a TLC match with no freaking build going to WrestleMania? I don't think it would have. First off, it makes no sense. Two, it would have been to put a match, two bangers right at the beginning. You literally would have exhausted the crowd right out, and they would have. And trust me, we were probably be looking at a possible disaster on our hands. So at the end, WWE kind of knew we're gonna have to bite the bullet on this one. So they did. They fell on the grenade. They let the grenade explode, and that's what we got. So I'm gonna be a little more generous with Trips and the crew because you still had a lot of big stuff to work around. I get it. I know a lot of people are not happy. That's fine. You have your own opinions. You can say whatever you want to say, but the outcome was never in doubt. The New Day had to win this one. They did. They deserve the tag team titles. There's no doubt about it. It validates everything they've done up to this point now. And you can even make an argument, and Pat McAfee did when they were celebrating, that now this also opens up the conversation for the New Day to be the greatest of all time when it comes to the tag team division. Now that they're up there, you can say whatever you want to say, but to win the titles at WrestleMania at this stage of their careers, there's no doubt about it. You can make an argument and you can say whatever you want, but the New Day deserves this moment, and you can probably say that they are now in the Mount Rushmore of the greatest tag teams in the history of professional wrestling. The New Day just took whatever they got at that situation. Was it going to be perfect? No. But at least they tried. And that's all I can say. Like I said, it was a bad placement on the card because of what you had beforehand. But at any point in the night, this could have been different. If you push this fight back a little bit later in the night, maybe we feel a lot more different than we did about that match. Or maybe it stays the same. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. And that's my 2 cents on the whole matter. So with that said, we move on. And the next match that we have on WrestleMania is Naomi going one-on-one with Jade Cargill. And it was Jade Cargill winning the match in 9 minutes and 20 seconds. Michael Bullock, it is yours.
I'll give this about another 2.5 to 3 for the effort here. I mean, another solid but not overly spectacular match. But yeah, they had to give the win here to Jade Cargill. So yeah, now who knows what's next with this? So it's yours, Fletch.
It wasn't the cleanest matchup, but I will give Naomi a lot of flowers on this one. She did a really good job. Jade looked fine. She looked the part. She felt strong. It looked like it was a good matchup. Yes, it wasn't perfect in all elements, and I definitely will agree. But the outcome was never in doubt. The right decision was made. Jade needed the win more than anybody else, and Naomi actually looked all right in the match. So she can keep her head up high, saying, "Yes, we did pretty good." That she should be proud of her performance here tonight at WrestleMania. So Anthony Florio, it is yours.
Yeah, another 2.5 to 3 stars for this as well. The story entering the bout was great, and Naomi shined as a heel. But there were questions about the match once it got to the ring. Those worries were extinguished early, though, as Naomi reminded the world of her excellence, and Jade Cargill delivered her best singles performance yet in the WWE ring. The chemistry was there to the point that it would be no bad thing to see them run it back in an attempt to get Naomi some of her heat back. But Jade Cargill appears to be in a position to make a legitimate championship run during this comeback. And this was the first non-title singles match between two women at the Show of Shows since Tori Wilson battled Candice Michelle in that infamous Playboy pillow fight at WrestleMania 22. And Jim Cantori of the Weather Channel was at WrestleMania. Did not have that on the bingo card at all. So, as he was a part of Jade Cargill's entrance there. So, oh yeah. So, actually, I'm going to be a little more generous on this one. I'm gonna give it a solid 3 stars for the effort here. So, solid 3 for this outcome, not in doubt. They got the right outcome again. So, there isn't anything else left to say except let's move on to our next match.
Next up, we have was Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight for the United States Heavyweight Championship. Winner of the bout in 10 minutes and 40 seconds. And the new United States Heavyweight Champion, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. And yes, finally, this was my moment of the night. I was waiting for it. This was a solid matchup. About 2.75 to 3 stars. It wasn't perfect, but I'm sorry. LA Knight ran its course. It was time to get a new champion in there. Jacob Fatu is the one I've been waiting for. The minute he showed up in the company and started that path of destruction, I said it. This guy is a champion in the making, and sure as hell, he delivers in spades. This was a very good matchup. Anthony Florio, it is all yours. History made, unprecedented crowning. Jacob Fatu, the new United States Heavyweight Champion.
3 to 3.25 stars for me. This was the second year in a row in which LA Knight's scheduled match flew under the radar, but wound up being one of the better matches on the show. His chemistry with Jacob Fatu had been apparent in the weeks ahead of the event, and they saved their best for when it counted most. A significant moment for Jacob Fatu. It should be the start of a major run for the Samoan Werewolf, who has world title potential. And that's really all I can say on that. So there was a moment for each of us. I mean, me and Bullock, we got our moment with Jey Uso winning the World Heavyweight Championship. And as MF just mentioned, he got his moment. He has been high on Jacob Fatu since his MLW Fusion days. Come on. I mean, MF, you've been high on Jacob Fatu ever since he was the most dominant MLW World Heavyweight Champion of all time. So
yes.
And he goes from that to this. So big moment for him. He's the US champ now. I think within the next year or two, Jacob Fatu will be either, depending on what show he's on and what main title is on, he's either going to be a world or WWE champion. There's no doubt about it. Give it a year or two. He'll get there. 3 to 3.25 for this. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, we had our moment with Jey Uso. MF got his moment with Jacob Fatu, new United States Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, 3.25. I mean, the outcome was never in doubt. I mean, look, LA Knight has had a good run with the title, but you knew it was time for him to drop it, and especially when it comes to this guy, Jacob Fatu. So, there's really nothing more to say. Let's move on to our next match.
It was a El Grande Americano. Now, he was originally supposed to go up against Rey Mysterio. Unfortunately, last night, Rey Mysterio suffered an injury on SmackDown Live. We were reporting that the match was 50-50. Michael Bullock was saying, you know what? Let's hold on. Let's wait and see what happens. Maybe we get some reporting from the doctors, something like that. Earlier this afternoon, we got the report. Rey out of the match. And Rey Mysterio was medically not cleared to fight due to the injury. Rey was out of WrestleMania. In his place, they brought out Rey Fénix, winner of the bout in 7 minutes and 55 seconds. El Grande Americano wins at WrestleMania. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
It was a long overdue moment for Chad Gable, who has been one of the hidden gems of the WWE roster for even longer. For Rey Fénix, it is merely the start of what should be a fruitful run with a company that has already invested in his presentation and will have bigger and better in mind for him in the coming weeks and months. Here is hoping for a mask versus mask match between the competitors and involving Rey Mysterio at some point that ends with the exposure of Chad Gable's charade. This was a 2.5 to 2.75 of a star match. And what a way for Rey Fénix to make his first WrestleMania appearance by filling in for a Hall of Famer on short order against one of the best in-ring performers in the industry. And before the match even started, El Hijo del Velkingo, the greatest.
Yes.
Now, I'm not a big AAA guy. I don't follow it as religiously as MF does. But damn it, even I know that, and from what MF told me, even I know that El Hijo del Velkingo is the greatest and was the greatest AAA mega campeon of all time. No doubts. And he was there, and he caught El Grande Americano with a kick before the match. And the well-renowned luchador was part of the big announcement earlier in the day that WWE had acquired AAA. And the metal in the mask gimmick is going to be a lot of fun for as long as Chad Gable continues to invest in this Grande character. And one last quick thing before I give it to Bullock here. And that is, who had this one last night? Didn't I say this was going to happen last night?
Yeah.
You remember. You guys remember what I said on the show last night.
Yep.
I said that I thought Rey was going to be unable to compete. He was not. And I said that Rey Fénix was the one who should get the nod based on what happened in the Andre Battle Royal last night. And I believe I had this one, gentlemen. So, but I didn't really have El Grande Americano winning the match, though. I thought Rey Fénix was going to win and give him a special WrestleMania debut moment, but it was not to be. So, but Chad Gable, whether he's Chad Gable or El Grande Americano, he definitely deserves this moment. You may not like how he won the match. A lot of people are going to cry foul about this and all that, and I understand where you're coming from on that, but and I'm even in that majority. But for right now, you have to give the man his due. The man deserves the moment, and it's good to see him get a WrestleMania moment. Rey Fénix will have plenty of WrestleMania moments, I believe. So there's definitely going to be more to this. Maybe a mask versus mask match. Maybe I could see that happening down. Maybe at Backlash. Who knows? But for right now, 2.5 to 2.75 of a star. By default, this was the worst fight of the night, even though there was nothing remotely bad about it. It was just this card was too loaded. So that's all there is to say on that. So Michael Bullock, I believe I had this one. Rey Mysterio not being able to go. Rey Fénix getting the nod. I told you guys this was going to happen last night.
Yeah, 2.5, 2 3/4. Yeah, by default, this was the worst fight of the night, even though it wasn't anything bad at all. Yeah, I guess you could say this has been a rough 24 hours for Rey Fenix. First, he gets eliminated, well, unfairly eliminated by El Grande Americano, who wasn't even in the match, and then he loses to him at WrestleMania. So, yeah, not a good 24 hours for him. So, nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, so nothing more to add. It's been a rough 24 hours, like you said. And now we go into the two main championship fights on the fight card. Well, one is a main championship fight, the other one, only probably one of the biggest triple threat matches in WrestleMania history. As we had was Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship. Women's title. Winner of the bout in 19 minutes and 5 seconds, and still the WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton. She gets the WrestleMania moment. Anthony Florio, it is all yours, my friend. Tiffy time reigns in Vegas, in Sin City tonight. She has successfully defended the title. She took down the queen. She dethroned her.
MF Tiffany Stratton sent an emphatic message to the wrestling world that she is a legitimate champion when she defeated Charlotte Flair to retain the WWE Women's Championship. The center of the universe and the queen beat the life out of each other in a bout that reflected the intensely personal rivalry that preceded it. So much so that Stratton was clearly missing at least part of a tooth afterward. This was a star-making performance from Stratton, one that we will look back on as the moment she earned the credibility needed to be a believable champion. For the Queen, it was yet another example of her excellence when it comes to big-time matches and another entry into her sparkling WrestleMania legacy. And Wade Barrett on commentary had some great insight as he revealed Tiffany Stratton's inexperience means it takes her an extra second or two to figure out what to do next, giving Charlotte an opening. And that's really all there is to say on that. Winning the title on the first SmackDown of this year was one thing, but when you go out there and when you go to WrestleMania, her debut match at WrestleMania against pretty much a woman who has been the face of this division for 10 years almost, and
Yes.
beat her cleanly and decisively. Her future is bright, man. There's no doubt about it. And Michael Cole even mentioned in a commentary saying this could be the beginning of a possible Charlotte Flair-like run for Tiffany Stratton. So, could be. Who knows? I'm not one to argue with Michael Cole, so we'll see what happens. But for right now, this was the second best fight of the night for me. This was 4 to 4.25 stars. Excellent match. Well done. Congratulations, Tiffany Stratton. And the theme of the night, the theme of the night on this show so far, outcomes. This was another one that they got right. No doubt about it. The right woman clearly won this one. So, could they run it back? I could see a run back. Maybe Backlash. We run it back. Who knows? But we'll see. 4 to 4.25 stars. Michael Bullock. For me right now, I have to consider this the biggest win of Tiffany Stratton's career, even bigger than when she won the title.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, when you beat someone like Charlotte Flair, it's definitely the biggest win of her career, and another one that they got right. So, 4.25 for me as well. So, there's really nothing more for me to say. It's your Fletch.
Yeah, 4.25, no doubt about it. This was a hell of a match, but the outcome was the right one. They absolutely did it, and I had nothing bad to say about it. Tiffany deserves the moment. She even got a very special WrestleMania entrance that living the Barbie life, and that was actually pretty cool. That having all those screens of her in different looks, different styles, and there is a little bit of that Barbie type of look that Tiffany Stratton has. That and it worked. It looked amazing, and she goes out, gives us a performance of a lifetime, and look, a lot of people going in was a little nervous about this match because a lot of people was like, "Uh-oh, is Charlotte going to win this title? She just got back, the whole 9 yards." And there was a lot of concern that Charlotte was going to win this title here tonight. And it did not happen. Charlotte loses. Now she goes to the back of the line, but she could always find herself right back into the title picture at some point down the line. We'll see how that plays out. But for now, Tiffany is literally the center of the universe. With this title win, she's elevated. No doubt in my mind here at WrestleMania after this win at WrestleMania tonight, and it leads us to the main event of the evening, the triple threat match: CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth freaking Rollins. The winner of the bout, 32 minutes, 55 seconds. Seth freaking Rollins wins it, but it was because Paul Heyman double-crossed not only CM Punk, but he double-crossed the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns as well. At the end of the night, he walked with Seth freaking Rollins in one of the most shocking turn of events in WrestleMania history. A double swerve here tonight. We thought that, what was Heyman's intention? We found out very quickly at the end what his intentions was. Screw you, CM Punk. Screw you, Roman Reigns. The visionary, the revolutionary, Seth freaking Rollins is now the one, a Paul Heyman guy. Anthony called it. I called it. Bullock, you kind of were on the same page as we were. Seth freaking Rollins. Whoa. How about that as it gets to you, Bullock?
Heyman, you sleazeball. That is why so many people say you can't trust Paul Heyman. And he proved it tonight by not only double-crossing CM Punk, but Roman Reigns. But man, I don't know, guys. Should I pull the trigger? Should I give it the 5 stars?
I think so.
I'm compelled to do it.
You know what? Screw it. I'm going to do it. This was a 5-star classic, and if not the best, one of the best triple threat matches I have seen in quite a long time. It was just all over the freaking place, and we had all that Shakespearean drama, including the moment Paul Heyman with the double turn. All I can say is, Heyman, Rollins, you've got some major explaining to do. Hopefully we'll find out come Monday night on the Raw after WrestleMania, but 5 stars, fight of the night. It's yours, Fletch.
It is 5 stars. It is the fight of the night. And right now, the best match at WrestleMania weekend. It is without a doubt better than anything that I have seen up to this point. And good luck to anybody on night 2 to try to top this one. That is exactly what it needed it to be. All 3 men left it on the line. All 3 men did an incredible job storytelling the whole 9 yards from the beginning to the very end. This was cinema as we know it. Without a doubt, the outcome was somewhat in doubt. We didn't know how they were going to get there. And to see the way that they ended it was absolutely phenomenal. I'm not going to poo-poo over this. I know a lot of people are a little shocked and everything else. But then again, we actually kind of called this a few weeks ago. We said, I think Heyman's going to end up going with Seth freaking Rollins. And then after what happened on Monday Night on Raw, it kind of backed us because Seth got over. Seth destroyed everybody in sight. And the one thing that my colleague was saying on the Discord was, who could benefit from this more than anybody else? And it was Seth freaking Rollins. We always saying that. Seth will benefit with this matchup. And the thing was, did CM Punk need the win? No, because he got what he wanted. He was in the main event for the first time in his career. Does Roman Reigns need the win? No, because Roman Reigns have won so many times in WrestleMania history that he doesn't really necessarily need it. Seth Rollins not only needed this win, he deserved the win. And he got it tonight. Now, by hook or by crook, whatever you want to say, was it a clean win? No. But the thing is, in triple threat matches, oh, by the way, no DQ. Anything goes. So guess what? Rollins, being the master manipulator, being that visionary, being the architect, going back, playback, call back to the days of the Shield. The sadistic, vile, whatever you want to call them, what we saw tonight was the authority figure, Seth freaking Rollins. And this is only a precursor to what I believe is going to happen tomorrow night at night 2 of WrestleMania. There is a vision. There is a plan. And I promise you, by the end of this, it's going to be one for the ages. But I'm going to leave that for tomorrow night. Rollins wins it on a 5-star classic. Anthony Florio, it is yours.
MF, once again, we agree. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about this one. But before I give you the rating, let me tell you this. This was definitely a 5-star classic. 100% agree. Seth Rollins defeated CM Punk and Roman Reigns in a phenomenal triple threat main event that concluded with Paul Heyman betraying both his best friend and the tribal chief and aligning himself with the visionary. The finish saw Rollins blast Reigns with a steel chair and deliver a curb stomp for the win. The stunned faces of some and the singing of Rollins' theme by others suggests the twist ending went over as expected, with some not foreseeing the betrayal and others embracing the new pairing of the visionary and Heyman. The match itself was extraordinary. It's not just a match of the year contender. It is the match of the year in 2025 with tremendous heat and dramatic near falls. The action built throughout before the barrage of finishers gave way to the excellent surprise finish and propelled the story forward, creating intrigue and anticipation for what is next. An excellent video package recapping Punk's WWE career and set to his old theme music, This Fire Burns by Killswitch Engage, gave way to Living Color, performing Cult of Personality live for his entrance. And everything was just amazing in this. I mean, Reigns launched himself into the crowd, wiping out Punk, Rollins in almost the first row. Rollins countered a spear from Reigns into a pedigree in a great spot, but still could not keep the tribal chief down for 3. Punk delivered a GTS to Roman, but he kicked out at 2. Shield bomb tease from Reigns and Rollins descended into chaos, with the former delivering an uppercut to the visionary and then driving Punk through one announce table and Rollins through the Spanish announce table. And Rollins, the ultimate troll, trapped Punk in his favorite wrestler, Bret Hart's finishing move, the sharpshooter. Excellent match, and Heyman's expressions told the whole story, and that's all there is to say on this. For right now, this is the match of the year for professional wrestling in 2025 right now. I dare any other match tomorrow night, let alone the rest of this year, to try to top that. 5-star classic. And one last thing before we do the overall review, which MF will start off on. I think this was the greatest triple threat match that I have ever seen. The previous greatest, I thought, was the Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Chris Benoit from 20. This just topped it here tonight. 5 stars, 5-star classic, Shakespearean drama at its absolute finest. And I told you, when Rollins said it, Rollins said, "Now you owe me a favor." I told you, he wanted Heyman to be his wise man, and sure enough, Paul Heyman is his wise man. Rollins is a Paul Heyman guy. Oh, Monday night on Raw. Oh, it's going to be damn interesting. 5 stars, not much more to say. Let's get to the overall review, MF. You started off.
Now, I've been hearing a lot of people saying that this was not the best WrestleMania Saturdays. And I tend to agree. A lot of it was meh. However, it was solid. 7 to 7.5 out of 10. But we know that Sunday is absolutely loaded. And we know that normally WrestleMania Saturdays are good. But when we know WrestleMania Sundays has always been the better event. Last year, WrestleMania 40, when we did 40, Saturday was fine. Sunday was even better. In 39, actually WrestleMania Saturday was the better event. Sunday was not so great. So it kind of depends how it's divvied out. This might have been not the greatest Mania, but we know, because we always know that the second one is still coming. So there's that excitement level still. And look, we're back-ended by the biggest main event ever. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. And oh, by the way, we got a damn good opener too, with the WWE Women's World Title on the line. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Io Sky is jumping it off tomorrow night. So, what are we going to get? We'll find out. But the fight card is loaded. We got some really good matches, and it's going to be exciting, to say the very least. So, nothing more to say. 7 to 7.5 out of 10. Not the best WrestleMania, at least not the best night one for WrestleMania, but it's still good enough. Like I said, there were some good matches, but there were some moments that kind of on us. Nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
Take away that main event, this would have been maybe a 6.5, honestly. But the main event alone brought this to a 7 to a 7.5 out of 10 for me here as well. Night one of WrestleMania 41 was a mixed bag, with some matches outperforming expectations and some not. At the end of the journey through Saturday, though, was an all-timer main event that concluded with a shocking development in the form of Paul Heyman's alliance with Seth Rollins. That main event, coupled with Jey Uso's World Heavyweight title win in the opener, was enough to earn this a thumbs up, but Triple H and company will need a huge show tomorrow night to rank even remotely close to last year's era-introducing classic. 7.5 out of 10 for me. Take us home, Bullock.
Yeah, 7.5 for me. Not the best night one of WrestleMania, but you still got night two. And they're going to pull out all the stops, especially when it comes to the main event with John Cena and Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. And you got a good women's world title match. And, of course, the two big questions going into night two. Number one, Fletch, who's your man Randy Orton going to be going up against? And number two, who's going to be Lyra Valkyria's partner for the Women's Tag Team Championship? Who knows what WrestleMania Sunday is going to bring? But I got a feeling it's going to be a good one. And remember what one of your friends said when it came to WrestleMania. They need to really deliver on this. Because if they do, that could possibly, and I only say possibly, be the death nail to AEW. So you guys got to deliver on WrestleMania Sunday. But I got this feeling they will. So we'll see. 7.5. Let's call it a night, Fletch.
And we will indeed do it. So when we come back, it will be right after the ending of WrestleMania Night 2 is when we will find out how this plays out. So until then, for Anthony Foyle, for Michael Bullock, I am Michael Fletcher. We'll see you all tomorrow night for the recap of WrestleMania Sunday. Goodbye, everybody.